Sitting by the fire. Day 5. It's kind of like a ritual now. It's kind of crazy. For almost all of these videos, I've come outside and burnt Amazon packages and boxes and paper and stuff. And I've had plenty to burn every single time. And something that's been on my mind lately is just how much waste we are creating in the world. It's absolutely insane, and I'm not saying that I'm not a part of this or anything, but we all are, and it's absolutely insane how much waste we're creating. But anyways, something I wanted to talk about today, I guess with these videos, first off, I want to preface, I'm not trying to seem like I know anything. I'm just sharing how I'm thinking and what I'm thinking about and how I view things in terms of this idea of living an authentic life and quote unquote making it, right? And so, what I want to share today is kind of the opportunity cost of doing things. This is something that I think about a lot because for me, how I view it is you're either doing things that are going to move you closer towards the goal that you're looking for, or you're going to do things that are going to take you away from it. And that can apply to anything, right? You're either going to eat foods that leads towards your health goals, or you're going to eat foods that lead away from them, but maybe they taste good. Let's say cake, right? Or you'll eat a steak. And, this is a big thing for me in terms of, one of my driving motivational factors is not feeling anxious. And if I'm putting all this pressure on myself to quote unquote make it and create this life that I want, anxiety is very prevalent if I have this goal, but I view myself as not doing the things that are going to move me closer to that goal, right? And I'm rather obsessive about this. But when I listen to interviews or podcasts or something online, it seems like everyone that has the life that I want to be like also is obsessive about it. So it's not necessarily a flaw to be obsessed. It may actually, in fact, be a superpower. And so, back to this opportunity cost of doing things. If you have this idea of creating a life that is original, and there's not a set path to follow, but rather it's a path that you have to create yourself, then there's a huge opportunity cost to doing things that don't lead to that, right? So you can view it in terms of the more often I work on tasks that lead to that end goal, the sooner that end goal will become a reality, right? And so therefore, you should work a lot and you should work often. And the things that you should work on should be actual critical tasks that will lead towards the end goal and are of high importance versus, it's funny because I'm going to use my girlfriend as an example and she's going to watch this later. But, I give my girlfriend shit about the books that she reads, right? Because my girlfriend also has extremely high standards and she has this life that she wants to create, and she has these dreams that she wants to manifest, but yet she reads these books as part of a book club that in my opinion aren't going to move her any closer to the needle or move the needle any closer to her goals. Should you have things that you enjoy? Of course, right? But if your time is mainly taken away, let's say by work, let's say you work from 9 to 5, you work out from 5 to 6 or 5 to 7, and then you only have an hour or so each day of free time, maybe an hour and a half, then it's very important that you use that time on tasks and thinking and developing skills that are going to lead you towards that goal, or else it will never come. That's true. An hour a day can propel your life forward, or it can just simply not do anything for you. And so, this is something that I think about a lot, and I've thought about it for a long time. Should this thing that I want to do, will it make me feel better and less anxious tomorrow? And for me personally, working on tasks or taking part in things, let's say going to a birthday party or traveling to a wedding or hanging out with friends on a Friday night, I often am not partaking in these events or doing these things because I'm not going to feel centered and in control of my life the next day. If I have tasks at hand, if I've completed all the tasks and I had a huge week and, like I just nailed everything on the head and my task list is low, then, maybe I can go enjoy myself. But it's also like, if you're working all the time, then the tasks that you're doing in your off time, in the off season, let's say these days off, should be very fulfilling and rewarding for you. And if that's, reading a fiction book or whatever, like that's fine. For me personally, it's going to the mountains and hiking and jumping in rivers and sauning and meditating and having huge training sessions and stuff like that. Like it's getting away. As opposed to like going to a party to where everyone's kind of like sitting around, or going and drinking and stuff to where I'm going to feel like shit the next day. And so, again, to circle it all back, there's a huge opportunity cost to the things that we do. And if you're like me, which you probably are, a lot of your time is taken by other people. And so therefore, the time that you do have, if you have this goal or dream of creating something, your time has to go towards that. Because if it doesn't, then those dreams just aren't going to come true. And for myself, if I don't use the time towards those things and I start to realize that my dreams aren't going to come true, then I start to get really anxious and depressed, and then therefore more inactive and stuff like this. And so I guess the message for today is like, analyze the opportunity cost of the tasks that you're working on or the things that you're doing and the time that you're spending, and measure it against your progress towards the life that you actually want to have. Because when you have the life that you want to have, you'll be less anxious, less depressed, higher self-esteem, more confident, more empowered. Whereas if you just partake in the escapism of the world and the pleasures that most people are doing, they're just masking a feeling of discontent. And if you want to find the contentment, unfortunately, it's like it seems to be through hard work and using all of your free time outside of work to build the life that you want to have, or else that life will never actualize because so much of your time is taken from you and used by other people. So, analyze the cost of the tasks, look at your life, maybe make a list of like, this is what I'm doing all the time. Does it lead me towards my end goal? Maybe figure out what that is first, and then track it and see how much time you're really spending on building the life that you want to have. Because you're working 40 hours a week most likely for someone else to build their dream, and I would guess that you're working less than 5 towards yours. And if you're working more than 5, that's great, but it's nothing close to 40. And think about how much progress you could make if you use as much time as possible to build your dreams. So love you guys. Day 5.